Hi, thanks for joining in. Today I want to talk to you about guilt. The kind of guilt where it feels like you got a rope around your neck and you're going to die. A death grip of guilt. It was a typical Saturday morning in Wisconsin, August 10th, 2002. It was a Saturday. My girlfriend, that I've known for a couple of months, her 3 kids and my 2 kids, went off for a weekend together. Saturday was like any other day, like I said. It was a beautiful, sunny, warm day. We're having lunch, talking about what we were going to do in the afternoon. I wanted to take the kids fishing. I had bought them new poles before we went, and I wanted to take them fishing. No, they said they wanted to go swimming. So by the time we finished lunch, I decided, well, that's fine, we'll go swimming. Either way, fishing or swimming, we were going to the same lake. It was a local swimming hole, tiny little town, northern Wisconsin. The kids were out swimming. Now this was a small lake, spring fed. And they had, it was a nice sandy beach there for swimming. People had been swimming there for decades. It was the local swimming hole. I'd swam there for many times. I was sitting not too far from shore on a picnic table. Kids were playing. They were in water about waist deep, splashing, having fun. My daughter and her middle son were splashing each other and playing and arguing about who was the king of macaroni. To this day, I have no idea what that was about. Neither do they. But it was just, they were having fun. Next thing I look, and one of the kids is gone. I walked to the beach. I'm only like 20 feet away, maybe, at the most. And I stood at the edge of the water and I said, "Where's Mitchell?" "Oh, he's hiding under the water," one of the kids said. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, I did that when I was a kid. You went under the water and went up and grabbed somebody's legs or poked them or tickled them or whatever. Thought no big deal. Well, as time went on, he was still not there. And I said, "Where's Mitchell?" "Well, he's under the water playing now." I said, "No, where is he?" I ran out in the water, couldn't find him. Ran back to the vehicle. I said to the kids, "I'm going to go get help." But I had my phone with me. But I was in a panic mode. I didn't know what... So I race into town, which is maybe a half a mile away. I go into a gas station. Here's a kid maybe 20 years old, and I'm just freaking out. And I said, "What's the number for 911? I need help." And he said, "What's going on?" I said, "My son's missing in Harper Lake." He said, "I'll take care of it." I raced back down to the lake, and in between the lake and the gas station is a baseball field. And there's a baseball game going on. Later I found out it was the fire department, the volunteer fire department, rescue people, and locals in the area. It seemed like within a minute there were people all over the place, all over the shore, walking around in the water, looking around. Couldn't find this boy. Finally, after about 20 minutes, he was found. In about 3 feet of water, underneath some bogs right next to shore, about 30 yards from where he was last seen. As they carried him out of the water and laid him down, EMS people just worked on him frantically. They said, "We got a heartbeat, we're going to take him to the hospital." So I loaded up the kids. She's not there. I raced back and tell her, I said, we got to go to the hospital. Mitchell drowned. She starts freaking out. We race into town. Get to the hospital. They said, well, we transferred him over to the next town, which was an hour and a half away. We raced down there. And I knew. I just had this feeling. I knew he was gone. And I looked at her and she looked at me and we both had the same look on her face. We get to the hospital and we walk in and we're greeted by a pastor and a sheriff's deputy. She goes with the pastor, I go with the deputy. And I get questioned and interrogated for I don't know how long. It seemed like for hours. And then I got let go. It was ruled an accidental drowning. No one was at fault. He was eight years old. It devastated the community. Devastated me. The guilt. The insane amount of guilt I felt. Because I felt responsible. I felt responsible and I killed this child. I was the adult. I was there. I was supposed to be in charge. I was supposed to be responsible. Then I let a little child die. And I've been fighting with this for years. After it happened and after the funeral and stuff was over, I'd walk outside and I'd walk out into our field and I'd pray and I'd cry and I'd scream at God and ask Him why He had to take that little boy. How can I live with myself after this? And the guilt was insane. I felt this grip, like these hands around my throat, and they were just squeezing. The guilt was so bad. And I'd pray. And I'd go to groups. And I'd go to counseling. Oh, you're not responsible. Things happen. Blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, that's all easy to say. But when you go through it, it's not. And even though this happened many years ago, I still live with it, and the pain is still there. It's taken me a lot of years to work through this guilt. And I still think about it. And I still think about that day, and I remember it like it happened yesterday. And I always will. I'll never forget seeing that rescue guy carrying his body out of the water. And I knew. You know, we all go through horrible things in our lives that cause us guilt. And it's hard to live with, and it's hard to face. And it's hard to look yourself in the mirror and go, I am not responsible. But you still have this voice in the back of your head, the devil, or whatever you want to call it, saying, yes, you are, to bring you down, to continue to keep you and beat you down. It's taken a lot of praying, a lot of praying. And the hardest thing has been to forgive myself that I didn't do anything wrong, that it was an accident. But I still have to live with it. They say time heals all wounds. It doesn't heal them. Time makes wounds easier to live with. Things like this or other traumatic experiences people go through in their lives, they never forget it. You just learn to live with it. And some days are hard. Some days are really hard. You know, or the people that have lost a spouse. You know, he's still living with that grief. You know, that guilt of maybe if I would have loved him a little better. Or I feel guilty because I didn't say I love you that last time. Guilt can be a very devastating, destroying emotion. And there were times I thought about ending my life because of the guilt, because the guilt was so strong and so powerful. But I didn't. I fought, I hung on, sometimes by a fingertip on to life. And I know there's millions of other people out there that have suffered tremendous amounts and horrible tragedies in their lives where they feel guilty, but yet they weren't. I'm just here to tell you that there's a lot of people that go through it, and it isn't easy at times. Some days it just really sucks. But you pray, you ask God for forgiveness, and you learn how to forgive yourself. I know I did nothing wrong. And that's what I need to remember, is not to let emotions control you. Because our emotions can kill us and destroy us. I want to thank you for listening. Others are out there, let me know. Like, share, comment. I appreciate it. I'm grateful today and very blessed to be alive. Have a beautiful day, people. Thank you much for joining in.